The next game on our list, it's the New York Jets traveling to Denver to take on the Broncos. The Jets at 4-2, the Broncos 2-4 on the flip side of that. The Jets actually favored in this matchup by 1 point. A 1-point favorite in this game with an over-under of 38 points. This is expected to be a low-scoring affair. With the Jets being favored, and given that I guess you can't consider that's a slight edge because, like you say before, it's you get that 3 points roughly if you're a home team, and then the Jets are actually favored by 1. Maybe it's a little bit more than just a 1-point favorite for the Jets here. But inside the matchup here, what storyline are you following here? Let's just talk about the Jets though. I want to give them their due because they're at 4-2. They've been playing well. A storyline here you're watching for within the New York Jets.
Yeah, I mean, we've given the Jets their due. The Sac City has been on the forefront of promoting the Jets since the offseason. I said it early in the offseason. I felt like this team was better. I felt like they were going to be better than the New England Patriots in the AFC East. I talked about it preseason. So we've given the Jets their due, and they've done exactly what they needed to do, specifically in the run game. They've been able to allow Zach Wilson to come back and just play football, manage the game, and not have to come out and worry about being some gunslinger. I got to go win the game and be this franchise guy in year 1 or year 2 of this offense. So I think the best thing that they did was go out and add a Breece Hall, somebody that can complement a Michael Carter. They work hand in hand. And then despite what's going on with Elijah, if they're not using those weapons, the weapons are there. You can throw in guys. They re-signed Braxton Berrios. They brought in some more defensive players. Sauce Gardner has been helping that defense, acting like a shutdown corner in year 1. The Jets and Robert Saleh have changed the culture, and I think that's the biggest difference between what they were the previous years and now being 4-2. And I think that continues this week. They're not getting blown out. They're playing games close. They're in every game. I think that continues, and the way Denver's been playing. Whew.
Yeah, the way Denver has been playing has not been good. A little Jets note here. So we said we had some breaking news pop up during the show. Robert Saleh has come out and said that Elijah Moore will not be playing in this game. So Elijah Moore, the wide receiver who asked for his trade, the Jets say they don't have any plans to trade him. But either way, they will not be playing Elijah Moore on Sunday against the Broncos. So interesting storyline to follow there. Russell Wilson in this game, battling injury. Let's go into that side of things. What do we expect to see from him if he plays? And if he doesn't play, what are we going to see from the Broncos?
Well, first of all, Russell Wilson's going to play.
All right, so what do we expect Russell Wilson?
Didn't you not listen to the press conference? He's got Wolverine blood.
I try not to listen to any Russell. Like, even when I'm covering it for work, I'm like, I don't want to listen to a Russell Wilson press conference.
I mean, there's something to be said. Russell Wilson's missed 2 games or 3 games in his entire career. His entire career. He's not missing games unless it's barring some crazy incident. This is one thing about Russell Wilson that I do respect. He might come across as cheesy and, that positive, optimistic person, but the dude does battle and he's always on the field. And I like that about him. So he's going to play in this game. He's just got to be better. He's got to be better. If he wants to be known as this guy that's a franchise guy, future Hall of Famer, whatever people want to say about him, he can't go out like this now. Like, he'll never get that credit. He'll never get the credit. I get it. He's 34 years old, but he's 34 years old at the quarterback position. And you spent 10 years in Seattle. And for the last, 5, 6, it was your team. And you didn't get your team past the first round of the playoffs. Like, that's a problem. So now we're in the sense of we loved Russell Wilson because he was a winner. And I still think he can win games. I still think he's a winner. He doesn't need to win anymore. He needs to show that he's a franchise quarterback. And if not, then it's a failure. And I said that at the beginning of the season. I said he's under the most pressure out of any quarterback in the NFL, the most, because he has more to prove than anybody else. And if he falls short of competing for titles year in and year out while he's in Denver, then it's an epic failure and the experiment didn't work. Simple as that.
I want to pick the Jets in this game so bad. Like, I can't tell you how bad I wanted to pick the Jets in this game. I do have Denver winning 23-20. I think it's another close matchup, low scoring game. They do hit the over though. But I think that, man, like I said, I want to pick the Jets so bad. I just think the Denver Broncos defense, there's something to be said about it. And I think that they end up being the difference maker here in this game, getting to Zach Wilson a little bit, stopping the run. The Jets have been very good with Breece Hall as of late. I think this is where it kind of goes on hold because of how good the Broncos defense has been this season. But I tell you what, man, if the Jets go into Denver and win this week, I will have to look up the rest of the Jets schedule, but I will be picking the Jets a lot more if they can go in here and get this win. Because I know I get where Denver is offensively, but if this offense for the Jets can beat this Denver Broncos defense, the Jets are moving up much higher in my personal power rankings than where they were this week. What about you?
I mean, how are you disrespecting me? Where did I put the Jets?
No. I said my personal power ranking.
I know, but you said they're moving way up. Like we didn't have power rankings that were already up. We talked about them during the power ranking show, and they were already high for both of us. I know they're my power rankings, but I mean, how high are you willing to put them if they win this game? Tell us.
I'm willing to. I'm gonna travel back here and see where you have them
behind the screen. Rankings. Oh my god, I missed that whole thing. I froze.
Oh, okay. I said I was going to look and see where you have the Jets. So you have the Jets right now at 14. The Jets would be a top 10 team.
Oh, hell no. You can't do that. No. Vinny,
sorry.
You can't sit there and bash the Broncos.
If the Jets win this game, the Jets will be 11 on the power rankings. Based off of where your power rankings are, the Jets would be higher than the Rams, Titans, and Chargers if they beat the Broncos. And that's not because that's not because of the way Russell Wilson and this offense is. That's not because of how much I've been bashing the Broncos. It has everything to do with how the Jets defense is good. They're very good. Sauce Gardner's good. They're good on defense. My concern is this offense when they play a solid defense, and the Denver Broncos are that solid defense. There's no question marks around the Denver Broncos defense.
How does that change if they win 19-13 or 17-13 because the Broncos can't score? You're saying if they win. You're not saying how they win. You're saying if they win.
If they win, the Jets are moving up on my power rankings. If they win, the Jets are moving up on my power rankings.
You're so. I didn't say they couldn't move up, but I'm saying how much you're going to move them up. If you're going to 11 because they beat the Broncos, they have to do that in a convincing. Their offense has to play in a convincing fashion. Otherwise, they look exactly the same when they beat the Steelers or last week when they beat the Packers. I mean, they beat the Packers too, and that's arguably. Would you take the Packers or Broncos right now? You're taking the Packers still. I know you would. And so I don't know. It's just when you say that them playing the Broncos is going to be the kind of the thing that gets them over the edge. I don't know.
It is me wrapping my head around the fact that this defense for the Broncos is very good, and the offense for the Jets, I'm still not completely sold on being able to win them football games. And I think if they win this football game, it'll be because of the offense. And
it's fair.
Jets. But I do have the Denver Broncos.
I would argue, but I don't want to argue. I would argue that the Jets offense has won them 3 of their 4 games.
In the fourth quarter, they're the best fourth quarter team in the NFL. So you're right. It is hard to argue that point. But I'm not completely sold on that offense. There's just something I'm not buying into yet. Something I'm not sure what. Sometimes I don't have logic behind any of my things that I say.
I know.
Who you got?
I got the Broncos in this one. I'm with you. I am with you. I wasn't trying to argue that point with you because I actually agree. I think there's still something not clicking about this offense. And now you tell me Elijah Moore is not playing. It's going to put more on Garrett Wilson, more on Corey Davis, more on Braxton Berrios, guys like that. So give me the Broncos. I really like that elite defense. I still think they struggle offensively until I see a good offensive game from the Broncos for 4 quarters. They're not going to score many points for me. So I have the Broncos holding off because of that defense 19-17.
Yeah, and I feel like no matter what, if the Broncos, however the Broncos win this game, they'll probably stay the same in my personal power rankings. Well, maybe not. I don't want to just not going to say that. Not going to shoot myself in the foot again. All right. We both have the Broncos here. We're riding with them.